How's it going, everyone? Classy here, and this is the new LG update for the G1 and C1 that finally adds Dolby Vision 4K 120Hz gaming, and with a little bonus that I'll show in a minute. So if you just Google the update number, which is 3.11.23, you should be able to find the page where you can search for the TV that you have, download the file, and put it onto a USB drive. So you'll need to unzip it onto the drive and then create a folder. This part is very important. You have to create the folder and name it LG_DTV. If you don't do that and put the file in that folder, the TV will not see it. Alright, so with that done, first let's show with the previous update how if you check this, Dolby Vision at 120 is crossed off, can't use it. The other issue, and I did speed this up a little bit, that's why it's going so quickly, is if you enable FreeSync Premium, you could not use Dolby Vision at all. It's completely incompatible. So now I'm going to put the USB drive into the TV. Well, first I'm going to show that the TV is on the previous update. I think it was .21. Yeah, 3.11.21. No updates found. It's not over the air yet. So now I put the USB drive in. It pops up like this. You want to hit yes. And then check now to view the progress of the installation. Again, I'm going to speed this up because it took quite a while. So while this is happening, just a reminder, if you want to press the like button, that'll help me out and help other people to find this video. And also check the description for some affiliate links if you want to try and support the channel in any way. So now the update is installed. The TV is going to have to reboot. It's going to be a pretty slow reboot, so again, I'm going to speed this part up. And now I'm seeing there's a reflection of my ceiling light in the TV. I could have pointed the camera a different direction. I'll try to look out for that next time. Alright, so now we can see Dolby Vision 4K 60 and 4K 120 is checked. And for the best part of it all, you can go into Game Optimizer and you can enable the AMD FreeSync Premium and it still works. So this is literally pretty much every gaming feature you could possibly want or need on the Xbox is now fully supported, and on any other platform pretty much. So let's check out the settings real quick, and then I'm going to go check in with Sea of Thieves, which does have a 120 FPS mode. It does drop the internal rendering resolution to 1080p when you do that. However, with the art style of the game, it masks that quite well, and I think it's a very good looking game, and it looks so smooth. It's the first game that at 120 Hz with VRR, I was like, yeah, I can see and feel this difference. It's quite something to experience, so I definitely recommend downloading it and trying it out if you haven't. And you can see our FreeSync active is on, and we're at 4K. Don't worry about the 422 8-bit. That's just how the LG TV is reading it because of the container that Dolby Vision uses. So that's kind of a pointless stat right there. Now here's the only issue I've found is there's no HGIG. I already have the Xbox HDR calibration menu set to clip at 800 nits like it's supposed to be for this TV. So I spend a few minutes here looking around and trying to see if the in-game setting should also be 800 nits, because if you're not in Dolby Vision, then that clipping pattern in the game would clip at 800 nits as well, but with Dolby Vision active, it doesn't clip until 1500, and I'm sorry, but the camera is just not going to pick that up. But here you can kind of sort of see how smooth the game is. Not really. I got to get a new camera. 4K 30 just isn't cutting it for trying to show the motion. But anyway, so I was messing around with this in-game calibration pattern just to see where it would clip and what setting was right. And it eventually, I can tell 800 is still correct. So even though the pattern doesn't clip until 1500, you do want it to match what the HGIG setting in the Xbox was, which was 800. So again, setting it to how it looks in the game like this just kind of overblows everything. Like everything gets too bright if you put it to 1500, especially looking at the sun. The camera's not picking it up, but it's like the sun had an outer ring to it. And so I kept messing around with different settings. So at 800, again, the camera's not going to pick it up, but the sun was just one solid circle and it looked right. And then as you increase the HDR calibration here, then it would add like an outer circle around the sun and it wouldn't look right at all. So definitely keep your game set to 800 nits with these LG OLEDs. Hopefully LG can add HGIG tone mapping to Dolby Vision, maybe, possibly, or maybe they could work together with Dolby and create a Dolby proprietary gaming tone mapping system. That would be nice to see. So in the meantime, if you don't have an LG OLED 2021 model that clips at 800 and you know that, and you have, maybe next year's model or a different model of TV that's going to have Dolby Vision gaming support, what you might want to do is disable the Dolby Vision, do all the settings with HGIG enabled so that you know where the clipping point is, and then you can turn Dolby Vision back on and use those same settings. And then that should work. But anyway, as for the look of everything, well, none of these games were designed with Dolby Vision in mind yet. They're all just normal HDR being processed through Dolby Vision at this point. However, I do find there to be less banding in the sky with Dolby Vision. It's still present, especially at 120 hertz. I'm looking around right now. You can kind of see it right there. So it's still there, but it is a little bit improved over HDR10. Dolby Vision does use increased dithering over HDR10 to smooth out banding somewhat. So hopefully that can continue to be worked on over time. But other than that, right now you're not going to really see any difference versus playing in HDR10. Halo Infinite is supposed to have Dolby Vision support at launch, so hopefully that actually is at launch and we will be able to see that soon. So before I go, I'm going to do one more quick look at Destiny 2, which is 4K 60, but with the Xbox forced into 120 hertz. You can play it at 120 hertz for the lower input lag, and still, again, have FreeSync Premium enabled. The game is super smooth, looks really good, and again, the banding is visible in the sky, but not as bad as it was in HDR10. And another thing I noticed here is with the brightness, again, the same thing. Well, one, the camera's not going to pick this up, but I had to move the slider quite a bit in order for the barely visible to be barely visible. So it kind of does over brighten the game. And again, I recommend having Dolby Vision turned off, having HGIG turned on, set your clipping points at the system and game level, and then you can enable Dolby Vision. Otherwise, it's a little bit overblown and washed out, as you can see here. So, but that pretty much covers it. We now have Dolby Vision working at 120 hertz in a game mode with low input lag, which I do show that in just a second, and with FreeSync Premium enabled. So pretty sure LG's got pretty much most of this now nailed down at this point. Again, if you want just like the smoothest gaming experience on a TV, it's going to be an LG OLED at this point. So I don't know what their QNEDs are going to be like, but for me, LEDs still have somewhat visible ghosting, even the fastest of ones. I'm just used to the OLED now. But here you can see instant firing as I pull the trigger. Camera movement is synced up perfectly. It does not feel like there is any increased lag. If there is, it's got to be a very, very small amount. Hopefully Sony will get a game mode for Dolby Vision out very soon. And that's about it. So thank you again for watching. I got plenty more videos on the G1 to come, but I'll probably have some QN90A videos beforehand. So keep an eye out, and hope you have a good day, and thanks for watching.